This video has been developed to provide a quick summary of the Simple Tools approach to digital tool selection. Classrooms require a foundational approach to using technology. The problem? Too often digital tools in the classroom are either not designed with your classroom in mind, or they include 12 distracting features that you just don't need. Teachers need digital tools that more easily allow us to understand how they best align with our pedagogical approaches and that help us to appreciate the content aligned with specific digital tools. And we need digital tools that are clear in their purpose in order to help students to appreciate why they are employing different digital tools for different purposes in the classroom. How then do we choose the right digital tools that have a low cognitive burden and that more readily allow for swift transitions in the classroom as we move through a sequence of learning? We need to understand what design elements make them suitable for use. A digital resource in the classroom should have a clear purpose with a clean and easily understood design. The research on this point is clear, with ease of use directly linked to the more likely adoption of classroom tools. The greater the complexity of the tool, the more features offered, the more information a student may have to contend with within their working memory as they use that tool. And the greater the extraneous load set aside to grasp the use of a digital tool, the less working memory is available for the actual problem your students are working on. Another way to think about this is to consider a digital tool in a similar way that you might a student's study space at home. If the workspace is clear of distractions and only has the tools that they need, it's a more straightforward approach to the work ahead. If the study space is a mess, with unnecessary distractions cluttering up the place, it's harder to focus on the task at hand. Digital tools need to be quick to grasp. You don't want to have to wait significant time getting everyone comfortable with a new digital resource in your classroom. You want to move straight to the activity you had planned and focus on the type of interaction you'd like to see in that phase of your learning sequence, confident that students can employ the digital resource quickly and easily. Digital classroom tools should be great at doing one thing really well. Tools that are goal-driven, that do one thing well, provide a focus on performing the task effectively and are simpler to employ and easier to master. These types of tools are also often quicker to differentiate with, as they allow you to employ them more easily and explicitly with students regardless of their prior experience. Digital tools in the classroom that don't demand complex login details or require lengthy setting up allow you to employ them briskly. Incorrect passwords, lengthy registration requirements, and forgotten usernames all mean delays and distractions. There are some wonderful simple tools that you can download onto laptops in the classroom as well, and you shouldn't discount them by any means, but occasional software updates and installation help with new laptops all creates delays and distractions. You need to ensure that the vocabulary used in your new digital resource is approachable to you and your audience, and check that phrases and concepts are familiar to your students. As an example, some chat rooms might mention branching discussions. Many students would need support to understand how this relates to their contribution. With less than 90 to 95% of the vocabulary students are presented with when contending with a problem is unknown, comprehension of a task can be severely diminished. And the same impact might be anticipated in the employment of a digital tool where the language used within it is less clearly understood. A clean, minimalist design is perhaps the simplest indication of a tool designed for ease of use. Look for oceans of white space, minimal text, or none at all if possible. When each new feature on the page competes for your students' attention, particularly in the early stages of adoption, less is more. Is there anything not immediately obvious to you in the design of your new digital tool? If you can't quickly and intuitively recognize the purpose of buttons or directions, then expect a portion of your student body to be equally confused. Your digital tool design will ideally rely on intuitive recognition of the right path, rather than forcing you to recall which steps to follow and when. Because these types of tools are brisk to employ, brisker transitions are possible within a learning sequence during a single lesson. When you use a simple digital tool in your classroom, you're more easily able to explain its purpose and place it in a sequence of learning. The metacognitive benefit of being able to articulate how and why you're using a digital tool is far more easily achieved when the digital tools you're employing do one thing and do it well, when their purpose is clear. Simple tools are more straightforward in their purpose and allow you to articulate more clearly the benefit of using a particular tool for a particular purpose. Let's use an example to illustrate. You're keen to do some audio recording with your students. Ideally, it'll be a digital tool that we can reach for quickly, one that students can start working with right away, with a minimum of fuss and delay. We want a digital tool where its purpose is clear. Ideally, it's a digital tool that does one thing and does it really well. Well, what do we look for? Let's look at a couple of options we might consider. Audacity is a freely available and powerful audio recording tool. While the audio recorder from voicerecorderonline.com is a browser-based audio recorder. Let's look at Audacity first. If you're looking for a tool that enables you to teach audio in the classroom, and you really want to dig into building audio of a high quality, then this is a great option to consider. And this is the audio recording tool from voicerecorderonline.com. One button, one purpose. It's a simple, easy to use recording tool with one button to press. The audio quality isn't quite at the standard you might achieve with Audacity, but it's certainly good enough to allow a student to record an audio file in under a minute without having to download and install software, without having to log in, and in fact without any prior knowledge of audio at all. Both tools are worthwhile, but teachers using this simpler solution are advantaged because they're using a digital tool with a clear purpose that's briskly understood by all those involved. It doesn't replace the need for tools like Audacity, but often in the classroom, a digital tool with one clear purpose that's briskly applied with a minimum of effort is worth 10 Audacities. When we reach for a digital tool in our classrooms, it should be quick and easy. We should be confident that there'll be few impediments and that everyone in the room can appreciate the purpose for that particular digital resource. Simple tools like our little audio friend allow us to do just that, to shift quickly, pivoting to student need as it arises. By selecting simple tools with a clear purpose that do one thing well, we can achieve this more easily, quickly jumping from an online chat, to recording audio, to building a mind map, to sequencing information. Not all digital tools are created equal. Digital tools that do one thing and do it well, with a clear purpose and a clean design, are more easily employed quickly and easily in the classroom. They can be more straightforwardly paired with the right pedagogical approach and the appropriate content. Simple tools like the ones described can have their purpose in the classroom clearly explained and more easily understood by students. That benefits their clarity of purpose, but can also support students in their understanding of how and why technology should be used. And there are design traits that allow us to more easily recognise what might be considered as a simple tool.